I'll change it. Is that better? I think that's better. Hey guys, as you guys can see, I am officially back home. I've got to say, I'll wait for people to get into the chat and then we'll have a discussion on this weekend and everything else. As you guys are coming in, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I love my BFFs this morning. I've already tried to fix my hair, but I have flyaways. I don't know why. They just are what they are. But either way, I hope everybody is doing great. It's nice to see you. Who's here? Dawn, it's nice to see you. Amanda, Big Mac Mike in the house. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Stephanie, Stacy, Jackie, it's nice to see you all. Robin, Diana, Melanie, Victoria, Michelle, Eeyore Blue, Donna, it's nice to see you. Libby, SRK, Linda, Bookworm, it's nice to see you. Oh, Mama Dukes, it's nice to see you. Thank you. Mel B, Noah, Bobby, Michelle, Sandy, good morning, YouTuber. Mama Dukes, welcome to the crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Princess, it's nice to see you. Dawn, Caroline, it's nice to see you. Jana, Outer Banks, Suzanne, good morning. Abby, it's nice to see you. Delilah's in her bed. Oh my goodness. She missed her mommy this trip. She missed her mommy a lot. And so, Nina, it's nice to see you. Hey, VA, it's nice to see you. I know Chaos has got to be lurking in the bushes somewhere, so we'll give Chaos a big shout out as well. Caroline, it's nice to see you. Yes, it's covered up, so it's kind of like, it looks like it's, I don't know, like, you know, it's something, but I love it too. This case is going to be with me for a really good long while. And I can't find any reason why not to, because this case has definitely been one for the books. This is something I've never dealt with any case that we've ever covered. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't feel comfortable with what's going on, but this is not what it's about. That was done for distraction. That was done yet again to take the focus off Sebastian. All the, outrage, the pay rage, the, oh, I'm so offended, nonsense from the people that have the most vile mouths on the streets of YouTube and TikTok. I don't have time for the nonsense, At the end of the day, every time they talk about me, they're taking away from Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, which is a case that we've been covering for many months. Nobody gave a damn about this case until Bullhorn Betty was on it. Nobody gave a damn about Daniela Mendiola's case until Bullhorn Betty's on it, on it. Nobody gives a rat's ass about these cases, period, unless I'm on it. And then it's condemn, destroy anybody and everybody, including the victims of these crimes. But we're on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers because every time they do this, they take the voices of the victims away. They don't contribute to it. They don't advocate for it. They take their voice away. And many of these people have been taken in silence for life. So we have got to stay strong in our pursuit to keep the victims front and center. We all care about Sebastian. We care about his dad that has been dealing with the unthinkable for this, without his son. He's not living his best life ever, like some other people are. He is very emotional about his son. He wants to talk about his son. He wants to make sure that every time we come on here, we're raising our voice for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, not Seth Rogers, not Bullhorn Betty, and not the POSs that were responsible to keep this boy safe. We are here for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and we need to keep ultra focused on him. Keep him in the algorithm. Did you guys see George Lopez is writing about him? We've got Dog the Bounty Hunter. We've got George Lopez. We've got Dog reaching out to Eric Trump. Donald, our new president, Donald J. Trump, knows Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' name. We are getting people to pay attention. We are getting people to notice this case, and we are getting the people the information that they need to have. This child disappeared from a home, and we want answers. We want to know what happened. We want to know what happened. And I am being made an example of this speck of a community. And so we're going to make an example of what true crime can do for victims. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, we have been hitting home, hitting home, hitting home, hitting home, hitting home. We are raising the roofs. People around the world know this boy's name. People around the world are lighting their house up for green. Why? Because we advocate for the victim. It would behoove everybody that comes here and supports me. Don't look under the hood. We can no longer support these people that keep silencing these victims. And that's what they do every time they do all this nonsense and trashing and destroying and everything else. They are stealing the voice of the voiceless, not giving them a voice. We give them a voice on this channel. We take cases that we would not normally cover, that their own community is barely covering. And we make sure it goes worldwide. We make sure that the people that need to know about the details of this case know about it. For those that are tuning in, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime. We've been covering the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He's a 15-year-old boy that disappeared from his home from unusual circumstances. There were lights on the outside of a house. One long light goes toward the house, and only one person wakes up in that house. We have lights going out to an unknown car sitting in the middle of a road, on the side of the road rather, that ends up driving off as we see another light scurry back toward this child's home. Those are the facts. The facts are this boy hasn't been seen since the evening of February 25th, other than what a worker at the Texas Roadhouse provided, and a video that was provided to show a proof of life. The last time any third party has seen this child was the evening of Sunday, February 25th at 6:30 in the evening. Nobody has seen that boy since. According to the neighbors and Miss Bobby, nobody even seen him come home. Car pulled in the garage. So while we don't know what happened to this young boy, we definitely know what we saw with our own eyes. We definitely know what was seen in the video that Nick Barris provided. And it made a lot of us feel very, very, very uncomfortable. We know the behavior that we've seen displayed since March 3rd of this case from all the parents, not just a few, all of them. We also know exactly where the father, Seth Rogers, was. We really don't know anything else about the other side other than what we were said. We were told. But no independent corroboration from anyone. Just them. However, with Seth, we have documentation from his job. We know exactly where he was and exactly what he was doing. Even if he was lying, we've got the proof in the pudding, right? Because we've got the documentation directly from the mouths of Babe, i.e. Davison County Jail. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch the vigil, Sebastian's vigil. I hope you guys do. This was by far, I think, one of the best vigils we had. This was so powerful. There was not one person there without tears in their eyes. I can tell you that it moved me emotionally. It moved me so, so, so deeply. And then when Seth got up there and started speaking, I was in tears. Isn't it interesting how every case like this starts with a stupid storyline? I know. Starts with a stupid storyline, and then we got the drama feeders, bottom feeders, drama bottom feeders. that sucked the life out of everyone, including the alive victims, let alone the dead ones. I mean, we give people voices, they take it away. What they've done to Seth is wrong. What they've done to Sebastian is wrong. And I'm going to say it just like that because they've attacked Sebastian by attacking his father. The only person that's been sitting here, everybody else in this world, from Vinnie Politan to George Lopez to Dog the Bounty Hunter to people that do this stuff for a living, can see the light. But it seems like all this other stuff. Kimberly says, this hit me hard. I have a high-functioning 14-year-old autistic grandson. The abuse he got from CP makes me cringe. Nothing to see over here, right? Nothing to see over here. Maybe if they arrest Bullhorn Betty one more time, maybe they can distract just a little bit more. I don't think we're fooled. And I think we've been maintaining positivity. We've been maintaining strength. We are here fighting for this young boy we didn't know. We're here standing next to his father, helping hold him up while he walks through the most difficult time in his life, and he has vultures on his back. Some people that he even used to call friend. It's very, very sad. A lot of people say, why, how many videos did you make for him? Oh, this, that, and the other. It's because this is social media, not mainstream media. We have to keep his name every day in the algorithm. Otherwise, he goes cold on these streets. That's how it works. We're very good at what we do to keep these victims' names alive and well on social media in absence of good investigative work. I was actually going to name this. I talked to Seth. Seth wants this always to be about Sebastian, but I was about to name this, Dear Nick Barris, do your job and go through what investigative journalism is, and it's not sitting on your ass and picking up the phone. Hey, Sumner County, got any news for me today? No, investigative journalism is taking the facts of the case and looking into them. So maybe somebody needs to advise Nick Barris to do his damn job and quit dogging on social media because we outperform him. Just saying. Just saying. Because we are Sebastian's army. When we see an obstacle, we go over it, under it, or around it. Period. We walk through the fire. We see the evil each and every day we're on these platforms. And you know what we do? We continue to go through the walk to make sure that the victims are victorious, that the victims have a fighting chance of being found, that the victim's name is known across this country and across this world without exception, without hesitation, and without government influence. We have a love of help. We have a love and a purpose to give these victims their voice, including, say, the victims such as Seth Rogers. When I hear people say, oh, he's playing the victim card, are you kidding me? Until you have a missing child that you don't know where he's or she is at, I don't want to hear about this victim card. I don't want to hear that anymore. Because this man went to work on a normal day, and when he left work, his whole entire world came crashing down. He is a victim. He's the only one out here making waves. He's the only one out here making noise. He's the only one still working every single day to find his son, bringing in all kinds of professionals, all kinds of people, and moreover, getting national and international attention. That is the work of Seth Rogers, by building his team with the help of Tony Mathis, the help of Dog the Bounty Hunter, the help of Nick the Hat. None of this would have been possible without them. None of it. We have to get serious about this beautiful boy. Guys, do you realize how happy this boy was? How much he loved life? And he was always in trouble. How can a boy that never leaves his house always be in trouble? Always. Think about it. You guys have normal kids. Think about the how many times did you just want to pop their head like a pimple for them staying out too late, or them taking the car when they didn't have permission, or God forbid smoking cigarettes or having a little booze, which kids do. Like, you guys have real reasons for your child to be in trouble. How can a boy that stays home all the time be in so much flipping trouble? Has anybody even asked that question? He was happy. Even with all the times he just seemed to stay grounded and in trouble, he still found a way to be happy. He found comfort in going to his dad's house. He didn't like the fact he was going to online schooling, but his dad, was worried about him adjusting. He was about to go live with his dad. The father that loved him, the one that we learned at the beginning of this case, was always on the sideline rooting for their son. And for him to not even know that the Department of Children and Family Services were involved in his son's life and being blamed because he didn't know, it's just unfair. Sebastian Wayne Rogers is a 15-year-old boy. He stands about 5 feet, 5 inches tall, 120 pounds, dirty blonde to light brown hair, brown eyes, slender. We need to find him. If you don't know what he looks like, look at the thumbnail. If you think you've seen him out there, please reach out to the law enforcement in your community. File a report. You think you've seen somebody else associated with the case? Do the same thing. We've got stuff all over this country, credible leads. Nobody has stopped looking for this child. Nobody has stopped producing leads for this child except the hate channels, because they've never produced one lead, one credible lead. We don't know. There's been a lot of things that we don't know about. I don't know if you guys watched Vinnie Politan's Tangent. I don't know. Me and another friend that I took with me to the vigil that's heavily involved, we were listening to it on the way back, and while they did go off on a few tangents, i.e. tangents, they kept it focused and grounded about Sebastian Wayne Rogers. And, Vinnie Politan had a lot of powerful things to say. And trust me, they do not engage in the nonsense of these hate channels. He does not. I can guarantee he doesn't have any qualms with anybody. He doesn't judge anybody, but he ain't blind. This man is very smart. He's been doing this for a really, really long time. He's already had the up and downs of the hate channels before in the past, whatever the case may be. The people that have seen the paperwork know that this is a bunch of manure. Legal professionals outside of a specific county know that this is manure. What does it say? Want to be sleuthing something? Says, embarrassed of Sebastian. Those two seriously sucked. Can you imagine being trapped in... No comment. No comment. Don't need to break out in those silver cuffs. No comment. That's going to be my new thing. No comment. Why is Leilani in prison? You know what? Well, she was convicted. But, me and the chief of police out there in Savannah County didn't see eye to eye, because we don't let people that murder their children lay in bed for 5 weeks before they're arrested. Especially when they're on double probation in 2 different states and can't pass a piss test. You know what you do? You violate their probation. You put them in jail until you build the case. That's what you do. You definitely don't let a child, a baby, K-I-L-L-E-R, sleep in their bed comfortably, smoke marijuana, and get drunk. That's what you don't do. But you know what? In all fairness, no offense to my Democrat family in here, but they're more liberal in that community. And that's the problem. And I keep wanting to know, obviously Sumner County's following suit, so how many people are liberal there? I mean, it seems like they voted red. I'm just saying. I'm just an observant person, not being offensive. Just being observant. Sorry, I was making my grandson breakfast. Good morning, the real me too. It's nice to see you all. Thank you, Melanie. God bless you. The TBI are turning a blind eye to the bees, who are wonderful community members who have themselves surrounded by attorneys, which makes LE afraid to investigate them. Well, I'm surrounded by a bunch of attorneys from the state of Florida to Tennessee to Pennsylvania. So I would be a little concerned too, because, at the end of the day, we do have a federal lawsuit identifying what's going on in Tennessee as part of the basis of the lawsuit as well. So, because it just shows the coordination of these folks. But anyways, good morning, Victoria. I hope you're doing better. Doing well. I don't know if you're doing better or not. It sounded like I know you got some problems over there. Don't mind me. Justin for all. I heard you had a new baby. And I heard that the baby got a bath and was squealing a little bit. Aww. Like I almost want to take a day trip over to your house, but you're too far away. I want to see this thing. I didn't even catch your monkey's name. Monkey see, monkey do. Did your husband not laugh? Don't laugh at me. Don't be mad at me. But I was talking to the gal that was riding with me up to the vigil. And I said, I think Justin has baby fever. And his husband said, nope, we ain't having any more babies. So he got himself a monkey. I do believe you got a little bit of baby fever. I thought that was adorable. It's nice to see you. So I hope everybody's doing well. That's exactly what he said. I knew it. People don't think. See, I know these things. I don't know how I knew it. That's the first thing. When I saw it was a monkey, I'm like, monkeys are like, I'm probably going to get crucified for this. Monkeys are like little babies, because they're the most comparable to a human being. If you talked about evolution, they say that we come from, whatever. So that's what I was thinking, because you got the diapers that, you get to teach them to communicate. Oh, good God. You know what, Justin? I expect somebody to be offended by that comment. I'm sure they're going to make 50 freaking videos. There Betty goes again, talking about animals being human beings. Aw. They even share the same. Aw. That's. Well, I gotta say, congratulations on the new baby. Congratulations. So if monkeys are like babies, then why is it okay for baby monkeys to be ripped from? Oh, good gracious. You know what? Go get offended somewhere else. You're a freaking idiot. I hate stupid people. Don't listen to them, Justin. You know what the problem is? They're so jealous that they can't even keep an animal alive. That's what it is. I'm sure they've got bigger problems than anything that we can help them with. Are you okay? Are you okay? She's just laying on her bed and just starts coughing. Hi. Come here. You want to get up here? No, you just like staring at me? My baby was so happy to see me. She was so happy to see me. Doesn't matter what species, they're all babies. Yeah. And the way that person can think about it is they're not being ripped away. What ends up happening is they go on to live independent lives, And their parents are usually, people are allowed to have pets. It's not up to anybody else to decide what pet's right for them. I bet you if that lady that was sitting there complaining and bitching and moaning, she probably has an animal at home that was ripped away from their mother. And if she doesn't, she probably needs one. Might change her attitude. I can always tell which ones are women because you guys flap your damn gums without thinking. What about babies? Hi, Delilah. Yeah, she's here. She's just staring at me. She's just down there staring at me. Just licking her chops. She's having hiccups right now. That's the problem. She's having hiccups. Betty, twins from Michigan. Aw, love you. Love you too, guys. My puppy's mom rejected the litter at 6 weeks. I was more than happy to take her away and give her love that she needs. Yeah, come here. Come here. I ripped you away from your mommy too and gave you a bigger, better mommy, didn't I? Gave her a bigger Betty. Look at her, and she's so happy. It's better than being in the wild where she can be attacked by something and killed and mauled. So I gave her a nice little happy home, and she loves it so much that when I left her at my best friend's house, she cried. She cried for mommy. She missed me so much. She missed me so, so, so much, didn't you? Yeah. Justin, I'm anxious awaiting your trip to Waco, Texas. Are you going to Waco? Are you covering a case in Waco, or is it like just a trip? I just wanted, I just watched I Am Elizabeth Smart and crying. I want that for Seth, for Sebastian to come. We all do. We all do. You know, we're praying. You know, my opinion of the case is one thing, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm following leads, I'm following information. It's a little bit different. I want to be wrong. You know, I want everybody that's been talking about this case, you know, I want the statistics to be wrong. There's nothing that would make me happier in the world than for the statistics in this case to be wrong. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I can tell you Seth has been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting just for a nibble, just for a nugget, just for something to bring his son home or break this case wide open. And it just takes time, and it takes dedication, and it takes passion, and it takes thick skin to keep this going, to keep Sebastian's name out there, to keep it alive. We on social media will not let this child go until he comes home, or those that are responsible for his disappearance get exactly what they deserve. And I mean that. Exactly what they deserve. We stood out in front of Sumner County jail, right? I went there before the criminals did, right? I didn't break any laws, but I stood out there and I wanted everybody to know exactly where they're going to be going. If this child, one hair on this child's head has been hurt, one hair, that's where they're going to go. I'll be happy to sit my ass there. I will be happy. I will volunteer to go, right? If it brings this boy home, or it gets these idiots off their butt to search for him and find him. We need Sebastian brought home. I seen the pain. You guys all saw the pain in Seth's eyes. That man is a broken man without his son. A little bit different than what we see on the other side of the aisle. I don't know about them. I could care less about them. I care about Sebastian, and I care about keeping his father in a positive place so he has hope and strength to keep moving forward. That vigil was about hope and strength. We had the best of the best there. Brad was there talking about it. We had Seth there talking about it, and that powerful message from his spiritual advisor. Wow. Just wow. I was going to chop that up and, you know, do each three in 3 separate videos, but I just don't feel that it would have given you the power of what we were feeling. And trust me, what you guys felt online hearing that doesn't compare to how it felt being there in person. I'm very thankful that this vigil went off without a hitch, that this father could honor his son and bring awareness to his son and talk about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We were all talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We weren't talking about our problems. We weren't talking about what we were going through. We're still not going to, because we need to advocate for Sebastian. Sebastian is the one that's missing. Nobody cares about Bullhorn Betty when a 15-year-old child's missing but idiots. Okay? But a bunch of idiots. Sebastian is what name needs to be ringing across these social media platforms. Not Seth, not Tony, not Bullhorn Betty, not Nick the Hat, not Dog the Bounty Hunter, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And if you have any information, even a scintilla, did you see somebody somewhere? Did you see Sebastian somewhere? Reach out to the Memphis FBI office, because I can tell you, I've talked to a lot of people that reached out to Sumner County, and it doesn't seem like they give a rat's ass about taking any information or calling people back to get the leads or anything like that. So let's just not even worry about the people that aren't really looking into this, and let's start getting this stuff over to the FBI. Let's start reaching out to 833-TELL-DOG. Do you have information? Are you in Oregon? Are you in Canada? Are you in New York? Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. We need leads coming in. Leads have been pouring in and moving this case and giving people, at least the investigative team, a path to search. Everybody on these social media are saying the case is going cold. It couldn't be further from the truth. It couldn't be further from the truth, because I can promise you almost on a daily, at least several times a week, I'm sending leads off to Tony for Seth's team and Dog's team. We've got 2 investigative teams working on all of the information. So anybody giving you this line that this case is cold is so full of crap and has their head up their own, you know what? They don't even know what they're talking about. These are legitimate information and leads that are being followed. Everybody is taking this case seriously. Everybody. Sebastian is loved. Loved by a whole bunch of strangers. A whole bunch of people that want nothing but to bring this boy home safely. And we have got to keep his name out there. For the creators that have been covering this case, he needs daily contact, daily touch. Keep his name in that algorithm. Keep letting it go further and further. Keep letting the world know we're not giving up, because the more we fight, the more we fail to give up, the more we go through the walk of trying to find this child, the more people with power are going to hear this, the more resources that will continue to come into this case to help bring this child home and bring this child home safely. And we can't think of any better avocation than getting his name out further and farther than it ever has before. We have our opinions about the crap that he was living in. And we are entitled to be outraged because of the crap he was living in. But being outraged does not bring this child home any quicker. Real information, real detail, real contact, calls with Dog. That's what's going to bring this home. Do you have a lead that you turned in to Sumner County or TBI that never was followed up on? Reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. Did you see something that TBI and Sumner County blew off? Reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. Did you find something that Sumner County nor TBI would go check out? Reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. Do you know how many people have reached out to me and said, I turned this in, I turned this in, I turned this in, and nobody would take it seriously? Nobody would look into it? Well, we have 2 teams that are taking it serious and will look into it. It is as simple as reaching out to 833-TELL-DOG or reaching directly out to the Memphis FBI. If you have firsthand knowledge of something very important, reach out to the FBI, then call 833-TELL-DOG. Are you in Canada? Did you see something? If you saw something, say something. Reach out to the Memphis FBI and reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. This child didn't vanish. This child, in my opinion, didn't walk out of his home. Why? because there's no evidence he did, including his shoes are still at the home. Everything of his possessions that he loved are still at his home. This child is not a normal child. He's autistic. And if anybody, which a lot of people in my chat knows their children, knows their grandchildren, and knows family that have autistic children, that behavior does not bode with autism. Period. It doesn't bode with autism. Autistic children do a lot of the same things over and over again. For example, if a child ran away or was known for eloping, it would have happened in the younger years and persisted into the teenage years. It wouldn't just all of a sudden, poof, okay, now we have an eloper. It doesn't work that way. If a child is accustomed to putting on shoes and socks every time they leave their home, they're not going to wake up one day and say, oh, I don't need my shoes and socks today. It doesn't work that way. Could somebody have coerced or, had him come out of the house? Okay, well, if that's the case, there would be evidence because it would be called a forensic data trail, which there is none. So in order for somebody to be talking to him online, there would be evidence that somebody's talking to him online. There is none. So whenever you look at this case, all the professionals are not leading to abduction. All of the professionals that have been doing this for years and years are leading to foul play. It's not Bullhorn Betty. I'm saying it too. But it's not just Bullhorn Betty. It is professionals that have been doing this longer than Eric Craddock's been alive. Just saying. And we trust their judgment and opinion. Why? Because we've been watching them for our entire life. Pat Brown, Peter Hyatt, Vinnie Politan, very smart guy. Very smart guy. Nancy Grace, ballsy, thick-skinned, love that lady, woman. She don't take no shit. These are the professionals that I look at and I turn to when I'm trying to get and understand things. If you guys haven't watched Vinnie Politan's most recent tangent, he met with had a show with 3 people. I didn't get to watch it, so I don't know who was on his show, but I was listening to it on the way back, and I really like it. I mean, even the tangents and stuff like that, it was wild. I learned a lot about kidnapping and abductions on that show. Things that were well before Bullhorn Betty was even born. Some of the stuff going back to 1973. I was born in 1979. This happened 6 years before I was even born. Man, we had a wild country back then. It's a little crazy now. But man, they had some brass balls back then. I'm talking about criminals. Some of the criminals this day and age, that they just. If you guys don't know, please go out and give the thumbs up so this gets into the algorithm. Do you have any idea how many cats I would have if I didn't get rid of them as they get older? Well, I'll tell you, 32. Wild cats are pregnant all the time. I've given 6 spaces in my home. That's enough. Gotcha. Yeah, people don't realize they can go out and live in the wild and be killed. You can give them a great home, especially domesticated. They're already domesticated. They're already around people. They'll never be able to go out in the wild again. What is somebody supposed to do? Just keep them? I mean, people, like I said, you can't talk to idiots. It makes you look like an idiot, And we're not idiots over here. Maybe some people in the bushes that are watching are, but I looked into other children taken away. The only similarities was blonde hair, blue eyes, lived near schools, but the evidence isn't leading that way. Yeah. And I'm very alarmed with the amount of active missing kid cases that they have in Tennessee. Ours is pretty good. We have a lot of kids that go missing, on a yearly basis, but most of them are all found, in short order. And when I started that video out, we had 5 on the list. And when I went to go capture the screenshot, there was only 4. So even one of the actives were found. So, you know, we have a very good track record here in Florida. Does it mean that people here are any less crazy? No, it doesn't. It just means that we do our law enforcement, we pay a lot of money for law enforcement in the state of Florida, and they do their damn job. We pay a lot of money for our politicians in here to get the right laws on our books, so our law enforcement has laws so they can do their job. You know, they're not sitting there with their thumb up their butt, closing their law enforcement offices nights and weekends so they can have a party. They actually work and make sure their buildings are safe spaces, because they're public buildings that should be there for their public. There's a lot of problems in the state of Tennessee, and there's a lot of excuses coming out about why they can't get it right. I don't like excuses. I like action. We don't give excuses on this channel. We put action behind it. If we're going to have complaint about something, you bet your bottom dollar we're going to be working behind the scenes to make sure that we advocate for the problems, that we advocate for the new laws, that we advocate if people are broke, they get the money from the state like they're supposed to. We're one of these people that believe in law enforcement, but the law enforcement actually has to follow the law and apply the law fairly to everybody, whether they're a taxpayer or an outsider, which makes me sick to ever hear that, but I've heard it so much, because there's constitutional regulations that prevent counties from conducting their business in that way. Just saying. I never believed that Outer Banks, but there's been a lot of stuff that I've been proven wrong on, to be honest with you. You know, we looked into that. The problem is that nobody saw anybody ever visit that house. Very, very seldom. Very, very, very seldom. The neighbors knew of Sebastian, but never saw him. I mean, again, that makes me wonder how a boy can be in so much trouble when he never left the house. But he was always in trouble. He was always in trouble. Nothing that boy could do was right. It just seems awful to me, you know? But again, that's just me. Oh, when did this come out? Sonia just sent me something. Might as well address it right here. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I'll just read it. I just got it, so I haven't looked into this yet. It said, and I just want to forewarn everybody before they say I'm freaking out. I just got this. I'm just reading it as is. I'm not saying anything until I finish reading it. I'll give you my commentary after. On November 8th, Hickman County, Tennessee, human remains were found in Duck River, a community of Hickman County, Thursday. The body was discovered along New She Boss Road in Duck River. The TBI agents have been called to the scene to assist with the investigation. It is not known if the remains are male or female. Investigators believe the body has been there for at least, I don't think this is it, because but there's somebody's loved one is missing. Investigators believe the body has been there for at least 1 day. No additional information was immediately released. Guys, if you live in and around Hickman County, Tennessee, and you're missing a loved one, please reach out to that county. If you haven't seen a loved one in at least 24 hours, please reach out. If you've heard of a friend or another family member that has been asking about someone missing, please reach out to them. If you know where New She Boss Road in Duck River is, and and somebody in your community is missing, please reach out to Hickman County, the police department, or TBI. I'm sure you can just call 1-800-TBI-FIND. I'm sure that's a good way to get that. I don't know who this is, but it sounds like somebody is missing a loved one, and that loved one was in grave shape. So I know we get a lot of Tennessee people here following me, because a lot of our cases that are unsolved are in Tennessee, and we outline exactly why we believe a lot of these cases are in Tennessee. If I could say anything to Tennessee law enforcement, public officials, Congress, everything, it's that something has got to change. Your children are not being protected. It's proven. Your children are not being protected in that state. That has got to be a number one priority for that state. Because there are so many children per capita missing in that state as opposed to other states. It's disgusting. It's sickening. And people like me are getting fed up. And people like me have voice, have platforms, and can vocalize our frustration. And right now, I am facing going to jail for expressing that frustration. There's something wrong with Tennessee and the children in Tennessee, and it has got to be fixed and it's got to be corrected. So if you are an advocate there, you have political power, you have political pull, get your butt wherever you need to go and start advocating for these children and start making laws that are going to help protect these children a hell of a lot better than they've been protected for the last flipping decade. Something has got to give in Tennessee. I'm sick of covering cases there, and trust me, I'm sick and tired of having to deal with corrupt counties because they don't want to talk the truth. Sebastian life matters, and so does the rest of the children there that nobody's looking for. It's disgusting to me. Something has got to be done. And I can tell you, there's going to be 1,000 other people building platforms in my absence if, God forbid, something happens to me for whatever happens to me. And we're going to continue to rise up. We're going to continue to vocalize our frustration in this case and our frustration in how those children are being treated in the state of Tennessee. If there's abuse in the home, you pull them out. We're sick and tired of you shipping the kids off. We're sick and tired of you not having enough resources. We're sick and tired of you letting these kids lay in those abusive homes without any help. We're tired. And believe me, the power of the mouth, the power of our words, the power of our platforms will get things done. If we have to make Tennessee look like a pile of poop, that's what we're going to do if that's what's going to inspire change in that state. Children should have a right to live without abuse, and certainly live without the idea of possibly being unalived at the hands of their abuser, which in most cases are their parents. Tennessee needs a lot of help. A lot of help. And we have got a lot of work to do. We need Sebastian's law. We need to be working with the Congress to pass Sebastian's law. We need to force the state to investigate these cases criminally if that child is missing, forensically if that child is a runaway. We want to make sure that days and weeks aren't lost because you think parents are good parents, even though you had CPS reports in your hot little hands and failed to disregard them. There's a lot to be said about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, but what I can tell you is all the photos that I saw, he was happy. He loved life. He loved playing video games. He loved being with his dad. And right now he's not. That is a tough pill to swallow. Today is Veterans Day. I want to tell all of my military family and friends, thank you for your service. I want to honor the people that have given the ultimate sacrifice to give me this right here and the ability to use it. I want to thank all of those people that have given us, as the American people, our freedoms and our rights that we have and know today. And I just want to thank you. If you guys see somebody that has served, please consider buying them a cup of coffee. There's a lot of veterans that are sleeping without a roof right now that fought for our freedoms to be here and live freely without our government's intrusion, even though they intrude quite a bit. And I want to tell them thank you. Instead of judgment today is a day of honor. Maybe buy them a meal, a cup of coffee, give them a blanket. If you have what it takes, maybe go down to a soup kitchen and serve them. There's a lot that we can do. I can tell you this journey has been one that's provided me purpose in a world without purpose. Doing the work I do gives me purpose and gives me the fight to help fight for the next person that needs it. Everybody knows that I'm a political activist and advocate, as well as a victim rights activist and advocate. We fight injustice in our communities. We fight injustice when it comes to these cases. And we need to remember Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' name is going to forever be on my body. That's how much I care about this boy. We are Sebastian's army, and we must rise up and fight for him because he can no longer fight for himself. We need to support his dad that has been his tireless advocate, that is literally turning over every stone and every rock for his son, that has done everything that we here on social media want. A person not responsible, a person that has provided their alibi, a person that has corroborated their alibi, and a person that has passed a polygraph test. Out of 3 parents, he's the only one I can say all of that for. Out of 3. Let's remember our veterans today. Let's honor them. Let's respect them. But also don't forget, we have a beautiful 15-year-old boy that needs us looking out for him today and the rest of the days to follow, until we bring him home and bring him home safely, or throw the pieces of garbage that did something to them behind bars for the rest of their life. God bless you guys. Have a great day. We will be back. I got a lot of work here to do. Believe it or not, I did not throw my stuff in the middle of my living room floor until tomorrow. I actually put it away this morning before I got started on this live. See, I'm even doing self-improvement myself. I love you guys. Have a great day. We will be back later today, and I need to go over on TikTok and say hi to people because I miss them too. I miss them too. If you guys had not had an opportunity to watch Sebastian's vigil, please consider doing it. It was very heartfelt. It was very emotional. And I can promise you, even though you're going to tear up when you watch it, it didn't come close to what we were feeling there, boots on the ground. And I can tell you, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love for Sebastian, and there's a lot of love and support for his dad, Sal. So God bless you all. I love you. Did I miss anything? I think that's about it. So rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, please be kind to one another. And don't forget to tell your veterans thank you. God bless.